In 1993, Batman Mask of the Phantasm was released to complement Batman the Animated Series. Originally, the idea for the Phantasm, or the feature of the character in it, Andrea Beaumont, was to actually have it as a multiple episode event for Batman the Animated Series, but this was later changed into a direct-to-video film, and even further it transformed into a full-length animated film released in theaters. But due to the circumstances of the film, at the time it was considered a failure shortly after its theatrical release. But through the video release and other means of fans of the Batman cartoons discovering it later on, the feature eventually made profit. But through the years since its release, many fans and commentators have said if the original concept of Andrea Beaumont or the Phantasm, with their crusade going against an old gang of organized crime bosses, this had happened within the animated series instead of the theaters, the character would have been remembered more among fans and considered more within valid Batman animated continuity. Some have even commented that due to Andrea Beaumont being an amalgamation of existing characters in the Batman comics, being that of Judson Caspian and his daughter Rachel Caspian from the Batman Year 2 miniseries, this fact would have technically not made it possible for her to exist in the proper Batman animated universe, because she's not a full adaptation of an existing character, nor a completely new character, but in between these concepts. The common belief is that the feature takes place in its own small alternate timeline. The original Batman the Animated Series was broadcasted within the United States from 1993 through 1995, but in the feature there is no mention of Robin or Batgirl were depicted, so it's theorized that the Phantasm film takes place during season 1 of the cartoon, if it had to be placed at all chronologically in the Batman timeline, especially with the end of the feature being that of her possibly killing the Joker to complete her revenge, as mentioned during the plot of the film. His fate is never resolved as well in the feature. He's only being seen taken away by Andrea, and Bruce believes that she's dead, but he obtains her locket, and the last image of her in the feature is that of an ocean liner leaving Gotham City forevermore. Though Andrea Beaumont has made slight appearances in other media, most fans don't know of these other appearances or does not consider them to be in valid continuity due to the circumstances of the Mask of the Phantasm film and of the character Andrea Beaumont. Sometimes a character can be forgotten because they should be forgotten.